Hi, I'm Mayor Frank County. Welcome to this edition of City Spotlight. Our June edition has lots to offer. We're going to be up to the absolute art world, home of Iowa's first graffiti art studio, and see its proprietor, John Lanham. And then we're going to stop down and see Amadeo Rossi, an Iowa native band, the Poison Control Center, for a look at what to expect at the 8035 concert this summer. Stick with us. We've got a great show. Let's talk a little bit about your youth.
Yes.
And, you know, starting in Grinnell, and I think we've talked a little bit about that.
Yes.
And did you have an art interest when, you know, you were up there, I mean, as a kid? I mean,
Yes. So this is exactly how it began. My grandfather was an artist. He passed away when I was 3 or 4, 5 years old, actually. He was very good. He could do portraitures, a portrait in 3 minutes.
Did he do that as a vocation? Or
He did it.
a
No, he did it.
avocation?
He loved it. Yeah, he loved it because he was good at it. You know, he saw that he was good at the craft and therefore did it a lot. He would paint. He would draw my mom, draw my dad.
Then you move from Grinnell, and so your craft sort of evolves.
I come here.
How do you transition to graffiti art,
So
or there's some steps along the way?
Well, actually, how I transitioned into graffiti art was, well, I went to Valley High School. Then from there, my dream school was the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. I went there. Didn't even know the notion.
But to look at what? I mean, when you went to art?
Fine art.
Okay.
To practice and hone my skills in fine art and classical, traditional, you know, Grant Wood, Degas, Monet, Picasso, all them. And man, I still love them. And
but visual art, paintings,
yeah.
charcoals.
Drawing, painting, sculpting. Oh, the list goes on. Really, I mean, it's animation, which I dropped out of a lot of classes. I mean, what you name it, they have it. Film. Shoot, you know, I'm just kind of getting a brain. I haven't thought about what all class. Just everything. I mean, even
so you get exposure to a lot of different stuff. Yeah.
So when I was in Chicago, I actually saw the graffiti on the wall, and it was like a light bulb. It was just like a light bulb. It was just like, I can do that, and I can do better. And ever since then, I've been, you know, trying to get better and better. But I won't do it illegally. I'll do it. I condone working on wood, newfound objects, maybe your garage.
I don't want to know if you ever did it illegally, but in the meantime, you know, where graffiti art sort of, I remember years ago on Manhattan Island and watching the subways, cars go by.
Those are the legends.
And you know, there was some stuff that was
ugly,
not quite as fine.
Yeah.
But some of it had come by and you go, whoa.
Right. Very surprised how they got that line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the art form a little bit.
Absolutely.
How would you define graffiti? As opposed to that traditional art. I mean, some of the stuff that I'm seeing, you know, in your studio here, you know, some of it looks kind of traditional, but, you know, with elements of graffiti in it.
Right.
I mean, where do you draw that line? How do you draw the line between...
Okay, so, really good question. That's a really good question. Okay, so, I gotta say this, all right? I can't remember which artist. Some artist, quote unquote, said, a painting is never finished, it's abandoned. So that kind of goes hand in hand with your question. I use my traditional values and skills to apply, and then I always have some sort of vision or idea, some sort of subplot to where I have something to fall back on if it's not looking good. But I always start out pretty traditionally. I mean, that's why you see the traditional aspects.
Well, we talked earlier about how, signing names and doing all kinds of other stuff. You have one of your T-shirts on here.
Yes.
What is this particular piece, and how do you separate this from some sort of contemporary art form to graffiti?
This is very basic. This is a pilot, and this is like the very first pilot marker that people would use. I'm going to use New York as an example to write on subway trains.
Sure.
This is what veteran graffiti writers would really relate to. This marker right here. This design is the exact same pilot design that they have on the marker. They only came in black, blue, and red. The difference between this, and this says Absolute, it's the name of my gallery, of course, it's a stencil, and so is this. None of this is screen printed. The difference between this and contemporary art is that this is just influenced by urban culture, really. I mean, contemporary art can also be influenced by urban culture, but this is just about urban culture, really.
We talked about some of those styles. I mean, when you showed us the different ways to sign your name, for instance. One style, you keep the pen right on the paper, and then others, you pick it up and are much more...
Okay, so the term for when you don't let off, I'll go ahead and demonstrate. A one-liner is when you do not let off, like Mr. Mayor just said.
Now, this is your signature here on a one-liner, or at least your...
Yes.
Okay.
This is one-liner. I mean, I could do it like this. That's my traditional one. You'd see that in Chicago.
Okay.
And I would be in trouble. I'm pretty sure they buffed over my stuff anyway. Now, the other way you're talking about is when they just focus on a letter by letter by letter by letter,
But much more definition and
much more style in each letter.
Okay.
So
show us an example of some of that.
All right. So I'm just going to do the same name, real. Okay. Realer.
Okay.
If you can see the difference.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. As we're talking about some of this and some of the fundamentals, you mentioned that you're going to do some classes.
Yes.
And so, what do you? Let's give our viewers an idea what the students would learn.
Okay. My curriculum is going to be based upon roughly the same thing that I demonstrated at Hoover, but it's going to be more involved with each person individually and their own hand style.
Okay, so what did you demonstrate at Hoover?
At Hoover, I demonstrated tags and what they are, and that people have different hand styles, and to try and make it very clean. I didn't say all that, but I mean, one of the biggest tricks is your very first letter needs to be very clean. Okay. And I went from tags, then I went, there's a few different, styles of graffiti. There's a bunch of styles of graffiti, but these are the main ones. It's tags, bombs, pieces.
Now, as they participate in your class, are they going to get an opportunity to understand because as we look in your shop here, we see a little bit of all that tagging and pieces and bombs and all that stuff.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm also seeing some regular. I mean, I'm seeing you know, an astronaut and
the Great Wave
and a Wookiee and a, you know, who knows what, you know, lots of different kinds of stuff.
Cool.
Yoda or somebody's over there. I mean, you know.
Good idea. I'm probably going to paint Yoda tonight. Watch.
Okay, but how do you link those two things together? Because that's more of a different kind of art. And how do you tie it together with the graffiti art?
Oh, here's a good example for Yoda. All right. Let's say you paint Yoda. He wears a old robe that's, you know, small, shrinking or whatever, old wool robe that's just dirty. You paint him, throw some tags on it, maybe throw like an absolute, you know, make it look like he's representing my company. That's a really, or paint Yoda with a can of spray paint in his hand, and you can have him have it up to the wall, and you can paint a line, and that's what Yoda painted on the wall. You know, if you paint a wall there.
Sure. Let's talk quickly back to your classes. How long has your studio been open?
Studio's only been open for a little over a month now.
Okay. So they would probably come to your studio. Why don't you, let's let everybody know where it is.
Right. I'm at 2618 Beaver Avenue in Des Moines, Iowa. That's 50310.
And do you have a phone number?
Yeah, you can call me at 515-422-0688.
Okay, and how do we have a website or email?
It's my last name at gmail.com.
So when are you going to start the classes, or are you going to kind of do it on a
this is needed basis? Right. Okay. This is also as needed. I mean, it's $20 an hour. I provide you the paint at a discounted price. I'll give it to you at cost if you're in my class. I'm going to give you all of the fundamentals of graffiti, and then some. Like, well, that is why it is $20, is because I am very well educated in graffiti and with graffiti, and it just encumbers my life, and I encumber it. So I feel like I have a lot to show.
All right. Hey, John, thanks for being on our show.
I really appreciate it.
It's been great. Good. Best luck to you.
Thank you. Thanks. You too.
Keep it illegal, by the way.
I will. I always.
All right. We'll be right back with our next section of City Spotlight. Stick with us. With me now is Amadeo Rossi. Amadeo is, among other things, with the Des Moines Music Commission. Amadeo, welcome to City Spotlight.
It's good to see you, Mayor.
Good to see you. Talk to us a little about what's going on this summer, and you've got some great concerts, and what's going on with the Music Commission, and, bring us up to date.
Well, the July 2nd and 3rd concert is titled 8035, is back again this year, Friday and Saturday. We've got national acts both days and 2 free stages, and quite a bit going on. And, just generally from a music scene and a coalition commission standpoint, everybody keeps working to try to grow the music scene and see some bands do well and see more acts come here, and so we can all see good music and not just see it pass by, but see it stop and really celebrate the fine offerings of music that's out there.
Now, in a couple of minutes, we're going to talk to Poison Control Center with Devin and Patrick. But talk to us about Iowa bands and local bands, and are you seeing more or less, or it seemed to be folks are realizing Des Moines got some good talent?
I think that the scene is really on the verge of quite a few acts that are popping up, making good music, getting out and touring, and Poison Control Center is one of them. The Parlors, who's a local band, they just had a song on a Fox television show, Chicago Code. They closed the whole season with it. And so it's a time when people are making good music, a lot of different variety. And I see a time where we're really seeing bands that are hopefully trying to make a living and make things pop.
Let's talk specifically about time, place, location. How many days is 8035? And by the way, why'd you guys decide to call it 8035?
Yeah. Well, it's July 2nd and 3rd. We'll be around, doors open at 11 both days.
The act's going to play all day, from 11 till...
It's from midnight to 11, or excuse me, noon. It's from noon to 11 that the acts are playing both days, Saturday and Sunday, the 2nd and 3rd. The location is the Western Gateway Park. We basically just stitch in down here by the library, the Papa John's Center, the new Wellmark campus. We've got 2 stages that are free to the public, and then 1 big paid stage that contains a lot of national acts.
Mm-hmm. How many? What will people expect to see? So I buy my ticket. I come down to. Do I buy a weekend pass, or do I buy a 1 day at a time kind of a thing, or how do I do it?
Well, we have single day passes. If you only have 1 day, you can buy them in advance through MidwestTix.com. Right now, it's $35 per day for an individual ticket. If you want a 2-day pass, it's $60, or $40 just if you show up.
Now, if I buy my ticket, do I then have to buy a separate ticket to go see the big band stage, or can I just go see the big band? How are you going to handle that?
Yeah, we have a free to the public. Basically, Locust is open. We have 2 stages just off of Locust that are free and open to the public, and then your ticket gets you in to see the major acts that we've booked.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Now, talk about the variety of acts that you're going to have. I mean, are they all, metal bands? Or are they all country western? Or what are we going to expect to see?
Des Moines actually has some nice offerings for festivals. We have a big country bash. We have, more of a harder rock. We have the Metal Fest, which is Laser Fest. And Des Moines is more 8035 is along the broad indie genre and kind of the jam and roots rock genre. So we kind of weave those in on the stages, and if you like one or the other, that's what you're going to see.
Okay, let's talk about, if people can buy them, you said talk about ticks. Can they also, do you have a website for the festival or Des Moines Music? How are you going to handle all that?
Sure. People can check out all our bands on our website. It's 80-35.com. And you can go there, click on a name. You can see a description of the band, a picture, a video, links to all of their social networking. And you can check everybody out thoroughly on 80-35.com.
You talked about a couple of the other things that are going to be happening. And what role does the Des Moines Music Commission play in putting all these things together?
Well, the commission is a supportive organization that works with the council to identify needs of music and specifically to the music scene. The coalition, who kind of sister organization, we're focused on growing the music scene by providing support to local bands. We have a music university that we address educational opportunities like how do you get a gig, and what's your social media need to look like, and how do you find an agent, or what are you going to do with your recording. We do some of that stuff, and then we do 2 other bigger events. One jam oriented called Little Big Fest in the fall that is more along the lines of roots rock and that sort of thing. In the spring, we do a broader kind of indie festival, and 8035 is kind of a meld of the 2. Okay. So, we're really just working to expand the music scene, expand the music economy. You see a lot of corollary sorts of industry that are happening: recording studios, graphic designers, people doing publicity and promotions and all the things that help support the music industry. So slowly we're growing, kind of a micro music industry.
And I think that it's been encouraging as we see, at least I hear from more people that are more aware, I think, of not only because of the Des Moines Music Commission, the coalition also, are they still active out there?
Yeah, the coalition is, who organizes the festivals and does some of these other events. And then we also collaborate with the commission on issues and go to their once-a-month meetings and help with some guidance and cooperation that way.
And I think it's exciting to see the young creative class folks get out there and get excited about all the stuff that there is to do around Des Moines, because I think that, gee, over the last 5, 6, 8 years, you guys have done a great job. But I think the young people are seeing a great opportunity not only to live here and work here, but see an opportunity to see live entertainment and music venues, and whether it's nightclubs or places where they can see live performances. Can be a piano bar, can be blues, can be rock and roll, can be metal, can be so many different things. You guys have done a great job. What's your vision for the future? What do you think? Where are we going to go from here?
Well, I think that the local industry is going to continue to grow and mature. I would just like to see us to have an environment where a real talent gets the real support to kind of make, where talent meets support to make a real go at it in the industry. And I think in the next couple of years you'll see, us, Des Moines, becoming better known for its music scene and some of the artists it's created.
How many people do you have to pull together to make an event like 8035 come off? I mean, you can't do it with 2, 3 folks. I mean, you've got to have a lot of volunteers and a lot of supporters. And how many tickets do you think you'll sell? I mean, how many folks were here last year when you guys did it?
Well, to start off with, you have to have a supportive group of people, like the City Council and yourself have been, to help seed us and get us started. And years ago, the Community Foundation and the city were instrumental in getting us going. And we still have that foundation rolling over to area companies. U.S. Cellular is a big supporter. Wellmark is a big supporter. Principal are a big supporter. Meredith. Basically, their money that goes into this event helps subsidize the event, helps us build the infrastructure and pay for some of the bands, and helps us keep our prices low. But then as far as a community event, we're all volunteer-based, and we have dozens of people that work on 8035 year-round, and we have literally hundreds, 300 to 400 people that volunteer day of show to make things happen. And, everybody, I believe most people have a sense that they want to give back to the community, and the Music Coalition has been a great way for a lot of people to do that. And then regarding the numbers we have, we're going to have about 7,000 or 8,000 people in our paid area each day, and we would estimate as many of those people to just show up to the free stages and work their way in and out each day. So it's in the neighborhood of 30,000, 35,000 people that will be down here for the weekend.
Wow. What great fun. Amadeo, good luck. Keep up the great work. Let's talk at the Poison Control Center.
All right. That sounds fun.
Talk
Thanks.
to you soon. Yeah. Here we have the Poison Control Center.
That's right.
Yes.
And Patrick.
That's correct.
And Devin.
That's right.
Thanks for having us.
Talk to us a minute about how long you guys been out doing it, and also what's your genre? I mean, what would you call the music that you guys do?
Well, the easiest way to describe it, I guess, is rock and roll, I guess. Devin describes it as post-pop, but for my grandma's sake, it's
philosophically speaking.
It's good old rock and roll. And we've been a band for a little over 10 years in the Ames and Des Moines area. All of us are from this area, and yeah.
Where are you guys from originally? I mean,
I'm from Northwest Iowa originally.
Okay.
Sibley, Iowa.
I'm from Johnston.
Okay. And so you guys went to high school?
Yep.
Sibley?
That's right.
Johnston?
Yep.
Okay. And then how'd you guys hook up? I mean, I'm a guy from Sibley and a guy from Johnston. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I was living in Ames, and I actually went to a concert over in Iowa City, and Devin was 16 years old there at this concert, and I was 19 years old, and he had a T-shirt on that I had as well, and I was like, oh, I have that same T-shirt, and I was like, you should be in a band I'm starting, and that was kind of it. He was
It was back in the day when no one in Iowa listened to the kind of music that we listened to, back then. So it was
Okay, what were you listening to
I don't
back
know,
then? I mean, this may be the hook that brought you together.
I guess they call it indie rock, indie pop, kind of sort of psychedelic pop or whatever,
very probably 60s influenced. but modern bands.
A lot of stuff. That's
Jimi
coming out of,
Hendrix
like,
kind of
Athens,
stuff,
Georgia.
Purple Haze.
Kind of Beatlesy, Kinksy, you know.
Yeah. But so yeah, we met each other in Iowa City, and I found out he was living in Des Moines, and I was living in Ames, and 10 years later, here we sit, kind of thing. So, but yeah, he was 16 when he joined the band, so his parents were very nice in letting him go hang out with 18 and 19-year-olds.
Play shows in
And it's a little dangerous now and then. Look what happened. Here he is.
Yeah.
4 members of the band.
Yep.
The other 2 guys, where are they from?
They're from Iowa originally. Joe is living in Asheville, North Carolina right now, but his family is from Des Moines area. And David Olson, he's from the Cedar Rapids area, but he's been going to school up in Ames, so all in the area.
Okay. And so talk to us about what you guys do. So you've got this sort of rock and roll, indie rock, whatever you want to call it. Do you write your own stuff? How do you come up with it?
Right now we have 3 songwriters in the band, and we all just write our own music. And we usually like to just demo the songs by ourselves, and then we'll like email them to each other. And that's kind of, we're kind of spread out all over the country. I was, prior to this past June, I was living in Missouri, and Joe was in Asheville, North Carolina. And so we were just trading songs by email, and that's kind of, what we did instead of practicing. We would just kind of learn each other's songs that way.
Which is a fun way of doing it. It's very exciting, because then when you actually get out on the road, the songs even develop even more. So the next time we come back to Des Moines, the song might be a little different than it was the time we played it before in Des Moines. So you never kind of get the same kind of thing at one of our shows, I guess.
I was watching an Iron Butterfly deal, and it said Indigata Devita, and I thought, well, Indigata Devita, it's got to be. I never saw it played same twice.
Oh, yeah.
That's I like that. I like those kind of bands. They're more exciting, I feel like, live that way. So we've never played a same set list twice, kind of thing. In the 200 and some shows that we did this year.
Do you guys do a set list? I mean, do you actually get up there, or you just say, hey, let's go with...
We used to for so since this past June, we've done 208 shows, and about the first 127, I believe, of those we used a set list every night.
Patrick says 128, but
right.
Something like that.
I think it was 120. Yeah, and we had sort of a system where there would be one person designated every night with certain duties, and one of those would be to write the set list. And then the second half of the shows that we've been doing, we just kind of said, well, we can just call them out, just based on whatever it feels,
How big a set list do you have? I mean, do you have like 30, 40 songs?
We have hundreds of songs that we could play.
Okay.
We'll be releasing our 3rd full-length album in a couple weeks in June. And we have, being in a band for 10 years and having multiple songwriters in the band, we have a little bit of a repertoire that we can choose from, which is also kind of hard, because then if you get fans or whatever, friends of the band who want to hear something that's from 2002 that you haven't played since 2005, it might be kind of hard. But that's what also makes it kind of exciting. And I think going up there without like a set list makes it more like a jazz band. You kind of have to feed off the crowd, like kind of if the crowd's like really feeling it, you want to play some upbeat songs, you just play some upbeat songs, or if there's not that many people there and you want to play some songs that you haven't played much, I think going up there with a set list makes like you think on your feet faster, probably.
Sure.
Like you have to do with anything,
How large venues out of 200 and some shows are you playing? Are you playing small groups, and then as well as a few thousand folks, or?
Yeah, so primarily we play venues that are maybe 1 to 300 capacity places similar in size to like the Vaudeville Muse in Des Moines. But we have played some larger theaters, and we opened for one of our favorite bands, Pavement in Kansas City, and that was about 2,400 capacity. So, we've run a pretty good spectrum, and then we're honored to play festivals like 8035, where we get to play in front of hundreds, thousands of people as well. So.
You guys, this isn't your first time playing an 8035, right?
No, we've been lucky enough. This will be our 3rd time playing it. And last year we did acoustic shows, and we did the after parties at the Vaudeville Muse last year.
Okay.
Right in the middle of a tour. It's such a great event for Des Moines that we kind of want to be a part of it. Even though last year we didn't play, we booked our tour around coming back to play after parties. Just because this is a really neat thing to see all these great bands come to our hometown, and we just want to be a part of it, whether we're playing or not, kind of thing. So.
Well, it's going to be fun watching you guys this year at 8035. Which day are you guys playing?
We're playing on Friday night, and I think we're the last band on the local stage.
Okay.
I think, but yeah, we'll be around the festival both days, seeing friends play and idols. So it's a good weekend for us too. So.
I got to ask you, you guys come from all different places. I mean, do you come together and then tour in a bus, or do you guys just say, hey, let's meet in Atlanta and we're going to play the XYZ place?
Well, we always kind of meet in Des Moines, play a kickoff show here, get into our van. And,
That's a practice show, right?
We've got just like a little, Dodge Ram van, nothing fancy. So
just put the 200,000 miles on it. So we'll hopefully put 200,000 more on it.
All right. Now, you guys on the road now?
We will be starting June 4th.
that's right.
Okay. And
CD release shows at June 3rd at the Vaudeville Muse, and then we're taking off, and we'll be back for 8035.
All right. Hey, good luck to you guys, and Amadeo certainly believes in you guys, and we're all looking forward to seeing you at 8035.
It's great talking to you today. Thanks for having us.
Good to be on City Spotlight.
Thanks for having us.
You bet. Well, that wraps up our show of City Spotlight today. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, I'm Mayor Frank County, and take a look for the times for replay, the dates and times. It'll be on your screen. Thanks.